Oracle networks and infrastructure providers should not make, editorial decisions on what to provide. The open source mentality and sort of the composable mentality of really the whole ecosystem is evolving. It really should be that, user developer first focus where give people the tools they need to succeed and then let them take it from there. We want to build that fundamental building block that you can take any public or private API, any data source that you want, on-chain or off-chain, and easily create your own data feed for your application. And this is very much sort of our mentality that permissionless finance needs permissionless data feeds and permissionless sources. And our entire thinking is we should not be a gatekeeper. In general, Oracle networks and infrastructure providers should not make editorial decisions on what to provide. We should give access to people to the largest and broadest amount of data or tooling or accessible points possible, and leave it to the end user to customize that for their need.
This is why I love Switchboard, because, and I've been saying this as well publicly online, like I think the great thing is that, as you said, you're not a gatekeeper. Like whatever apps, I remember when you guys first launched, it was kind of, there was a lot of lenders emerging, and now there was like 6 lenders on Solana or something like that. And a lot of them needed Oracle feeds for a lot of different tokens that maybe were a little bit crazy. Like for example, coins that like MSOL or XStep or something like that, something that had inbuilt yield into it. So the price of it wasn't as simple as like, hey, let's just look up the price on some exchange. It was a little bit more complex than that. And once you had those sorts of coins, you could do more complex strategies and that sort of thing, but you needed the price feed for those types of coins, right? So I think, yeah, like that would be an example of Switchboard was just there helping us like get all of that, get started on day one and getting out of the way and not being a gatekeeper. I think that was super cool.
Yeah, again, we don't think any particular network should have total control or total decision-making over any data feed or really any price feed. We think it should be the protocols themselves that should be in charge of that and configure it to exactly their needs. That's not to say if, George, you need help with something, we're happy to give our input, but we just don't think that that's the place of a neutral infrastructure provider in this permissionless economy to make those decisions on behalf of protocols. And, again, like it's one of those things where the way we view tooling and the way I think, the open source mentality and sort of the composable mentality of really the whole ecosystem is evolving. I think it really should be that, user developer first focus where give people the tools they need to succeed and then let them take it from there.
Totally. And I think like people think of blockchains as complex things, but they're actually dumb things. And what I mean by that, by dumb, it means, well, a blockchain doesn't know the weather today in Lisbon, right? And if I want to build an app that utilizes that, I need some sort of source of information. I need some reliable source of information that A, can't be easily corrupted or manipulated, and B, is always there on chain. It's not like out of date. Like I want to know that the temperature in a city now. I don't really care about 3 weeks ago because that's what my app needs. So really, I guess for those not familiar with oracles, like that's what you guys are all about, right? It's being able to provide price feeds for literally anything, not just financial kind of stuff like the price of a coin. It could be anything. Like, it really depends what the app is. Would that be reasonable?
Yeah, that's totally true. It's really data, right? And it's really being able to plug into any sort of Web 2, or by the way, Web 3 as well.